Welcome to What You Need to Grow, the podcast where entrepreneurs discover the inspiration and perspective shifts that fuel both personal and business growth. Each week, certified professional coach Jennie Bellinger brings you powerful conversations with thought leaders, subject matter experts, and innovative company leaders who share their stories of growth and the tools that made it possible. From fresh insights that expand your vision to resources you can explore on your own journey, every episode is designed to help you grow your knowledge, grow your vision, and grow your business. Now, here's your host, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of What You Need to Grow. I am your host, Jennie Bellinger, and I have with me today someone who I have had the pleasure of being in quite a few Zoom rooms with. And as we continue to get to know each other, and we've had some virtual networking meetings, I realized that I really needed to bring Fabienne Marneau onto the show. So let me tell you a little bit about Fabienne. So Fabienne is an alchemist ghostbuster. For decades, she has worked with purpose-driven entrepreneurs and leaders to clear what others can't see, the energetic and ancestral patterns that quietly sabotage confidence, clarity, and momentum. Because success, real, fulfilling, soul-aligned achievement is not just about what you do. It's about what you carry, often without even realizing it. And so now I'd like to introduce you to Fabienne Marneau. Welcome to the show, Fabienne.
Thank you. Thank you. I need to hire you to do my introduction. You are fantastic.
Very happy to do that. We could do that. We could have a conversation around that. No, you are somebody who, from the moment we were in a Zoom room together, your energy jumped off the screen at me. And I was like, I need to get to know who this Fabienne Marneau lady is. And we started chatting, in the private chat, and then booked an appointment. And I absolutely loved what you had to share about what it is that you do and how you work with people. So why don't you share with the audience here, my listener, for What You Need to Grow, how did you become an alchemist ghostbuster?
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Yeah, it happened very naturally, actually, because I was born medium. So for me, it was totally natural. And then very young, when I was 9 years old, I realized that I had healing abilities to remove pain. And all my life, this is really what mainly um, lead me to do what I do. I cannot stand seeing and feeling people in pain. And emotional pain, well, of course, you can help with physical pain, but it's always coming from something else. Physical pain really come most of the time from emotions, hidden emotions that we don't know how to deal with, and they manifest in our body, even manifesting sickness like cancer or heart attack or stuff like that, and more, the medical world is recognizing that as a reality, because initially they talked about, oh, you need to learn how to relax and breathe and all that. Yeah, it's wonderful, but there's even deeper levels than that. Yeah. Really clearing our soul turmoil and karmic weight, So I work with ancestral lineage patterns because of that. Because if you imagine that you have about 4,000 lives on each side of your parents, on your dad's side and your mother's side, you have at least 4,000 people that you can trace, people who lived, who had a life. And they all had been affected by trauma, sickness, death, obviously, they're all dead. And all those events influence our DNA. It's within us. So we don't carry only the genetic tracer of being blonde or blue eyes or all that. We also carry the trauma, the good and the bad, because sometimes it's you can have somebody who knows how to play piano or without having to learn, or or be fantastic with languages, and that can also be something that bleed over our genetic, our generational ancestral lineage. But so there is the good and there is the not so good. So my work is to identify what's going on, go to the source and clear that, help them clear that, because all healing is self-healing. Nobody can do anything on you without you participating. And like you mentioned, you were attracted to my energy because you have that same energy in you. You saw your sister,
Ah,
that's all. We recognize each other. We can never really perceive all the greatness without having that greatness within us,
That's like, as one of my mentors, I've heard her say before, when she's sharing stories about, networking and being in groups and rooms with people. She's like, if you spot it, you got it. So it sounds like very similar to what Virginia has said to me about that. Like, that's why your energy, like, in because I think the first room we were in together was Strategic Alliance Live. And so there
Uh-huh.
was 100 something people in that Zoom.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yet yours was the one who just popped off the screen like,
right.
I need to connect with this lady.
Right, right. But you see, for example, your purple hair, that's my color. Purple is the high vibration of spirituality, of truth. I mean, it has a special connotation. So we vibrate. I know that on the same level,
Yeah.
that the purple fire, there's different type of fire, and that's one fire that is very spiritual and selfless. We are very much about giving to others.
Mm.
And that was one of the things that connected me with you because I knew I could see what you needed because that's my gift to know what people need. And I felt that I need to help you receive. You are a giver, but you need to learn to receive. You see? And that
Yeah.
was what connected me also by saying, "Oh, I need to connect with her too because she needs me. I can help her." And
Right.
then you help even more the world because when you receive, you are full again. You
Yeah.
can't keep giving, giving. You have to receive. It's part
Yeah.
of the same two
Yeah.
stuff.
So you've been doing this, you said, since you were 9 years old. I mean, you were born a medium, but started your
Yeah.
healing journey with people when you were around 9. Um, At what point did you start using this to heal people, not just for their personal growth, but also for business growth?
For business. So for business, it's later. Because when I was in my 16, 18, I was helping my parents' friend. My dad being a colonel in the army, lieutenant colonel, he had a lot of friends, generals and all that, who had trauma from war, really
Yeah.
deep trauma and personal stuff because losing children or whatever, and I was helping them. So that gave me the confidence and working with men who are strong, powerful people, but they all were very spiritual. I was really surprised. Not, I shouldn't be surprised because a lot of military people have values, and they
Mm.
are very, very often very spiritual. So it was easy to work with them. And men, they didn't mind at all. They let me work on them, and I did all kind of stuff, hypnotherapy, acupuncture. I was doing everything I could, on them to help them. But when I came to the US, I had a day spa. I created a day spa, so it was a holistic day spa. And then a lot of my clients had business. They were entrepreneur, and so I saw the connection between what they needed to be more successful and balance with their own life. Because when you have a business, one of the issue is that if you are like we are, overachievers and type A people, we work, 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 work to the point where we can't function almost. There's burnout, depression, I mean, all kind of
Mhm.
stuff that manifest with high achievers, right? And I attract high achievers because that's what I am. I
Yeah.
can never stay still. I'm always working on something. And people joke with me, I don't like vacation. I mean, if I am in vacation, I still have to have specific time where I can still do healing and do stuff, or do a research or whatever. So those people need help because if they want to keep vibrating and be influential and manifest the success they want, and they need to resource and they need to be realigned, you know. So I started taking care of business people naturally who would come just for relaxation because they knew they needed to relax, but they didn't know how. And then immediately I made them understand that, oh, there is deeper stuff than that need to be healed, you know. And so gradually I did that. And then when COVID hit, I closed down all my, the day spa. It was too much, too complicated with
Mhm.
COVID. And now I'm 100% dedicated to the retreat, my mentorship, and my one-on-one breakthrough sessions.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's an important piece because something, that I've said from literally the very first episode I've that I did with this show is your business cannot outgrow you, right? Or the people who are running it because, you know, even if you have other people who are running the business or who are helping you like build and grow the business, if they have limitations, then the business has limitations, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're
So,
the reflection of that. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And so that's why I wanted to have you on because, in the conversations we've had, I mean, you've already helped me begin to recognize where some of my self-limiting beliefs are. And not even that, but just also some of the um, issues that show up in my life as a pattern because it's a lesson that still needs to be learned or something that needs to be released because whether it's mine or somebody else's, right? Because you talk about the ancestral patterns, right? Too. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this who are like, wait, what? But
What is she
trust me,
talking
y'all.
about?
I know. But I will say that it was such a relief to find out that some of the things that, in the work that I've done previously with some other healers and trauma healers, where it was, for example, the limitation on how much money can be made. Like, was that mine or did that belong to someone else? And it was like, no, it belongs to someone else because you've got the vision for larger things, but there's someone else in your family,
Who
on
doesn't?
one side or
Yeah.
the other, right,
Yeah.
who had that limitation and it was passed down to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that once that lifted, I will tell you, I'm like this is a testimonial for what you do. Ever since we had that session, I've been attracting more people who are paying clients who are coming in and,
See?
and paying. It's been
It's
amazing. So
crazy. I
thank
know, and I
you.
see you are welcome, and I see that. And we are just at the beginning, Jenny. That's why
Yeah.
I encourage you to keep working because you have no idea how many layers of the onion we need to peel.
Yeah.
And if I may, I would like to give you an example of somebody that most of you guys knows, Chris Slade. You
Okay.
may not know his name, but he was a drummer for AC/DC. He had been one of the
Oh,
drummer for AC/DC. He's a friend of mine, and I did healing for him, and we are very close because he's extremely spiritual. He's a wonderful person, and I can say his story because he gave me permission to say it. In one past life regression I did with him, he was a beggar in India, and he had a very difficult childhood. He's coming from a very poor family. He had a lot of trauma in his childhood, but he still had a fear of being poor, even though he
oh,
is the great Chris Slade,
yeah.
totally successful and magnetic and a wonderful
A
musician and
literal rock star.
yeah, a real rock star and at all level that you can imagine. And he's
Yeah.
not under using drugs, what I praise him,
Yeah.
for resisting that too. But anyway, he's a star person. He travel in the, he's phenomenal. But in one session, we cleared that, it was amazing. And, so you never know what is, I call them like I joke with the ghost in the closet, but it can another image would be like a splinter, a splint in your skin
Hmm.
that is hurting you. And then until we extract it, you cannot function perfectly, So it
Right.
can manifest with sadness, it can manifest with, like you said, limiting belief and all that. But then the next step, so when we do that, it's wonderful. And there's many, many layers. But then after that, we need to reprogram the mind. And
Mm.
that's why I love people to understand that if they are on a program, like I have a program for that is a 2-year program, but at least a year, to really readjust everything, that's what we need because we have habits. We created habits,
Hmm.
that need to be undone, and that takes time. I'm sorry, but the healing can be quick, but the reprogramming is another story.
Yeah. I will definitely say that in all the years I've been spending working on myself and working on my businesses and learning these different things, the unlearning of whether it's a bad habit, the unlearning of a belief system, the unlearning or, deconstruction of a belief system that isn't serving me anymore or serving my family or my business anymore. That is the piece that does seem to take the longest. Do you find that when you're working with your clients on this, um, you said you work with them for a year, 2 years potentially. Um, how quickly do things start turning around for your clients when they start working with you?
Well, the result, they start immediately. Look at you. You said you already
Mhm.
have result. And we only
Yeah.
did what, one session, two session? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
One.
so it,
Uh-huh.
it one session. And so of course we need to keep going because I see what is next, because I'm a visionary.
Yeah.
So I have immediately the vision of the potential of people. I see what they need. I see the past, but I see the future. And it's
Mm.
so deep that's why it's like an inspiration that is so strong in me to say, okay, don't give up. Let's do more because there is a lot of good stuff coming up,
Yeah.
that are ahead of you. And my gosh, it's so exciting, And you understand why I am a workaholic because to me that's my passion, you know.
Yeah.
I cannot stop, I had dinner yesterday with a friend who is a surgeon. She's a fantastic surgeon. And I helped her for several years at her office when COVID hit, when I decided to close my business. She needed help at her office. So I became her manager, her office manager I did it for a couple of years actually,
Okay.
and transform her office. I mean, everything is uh, she needed a lot of help. And but in the relationship, she really realized that she was done at some point for that business as a surgeon, that now she wants to be a coach because she's really a fantastic person for mindset and all that. So yesterday, I couldn't help it at dinner. She was exhausted because she told me that in 2 days, she saw, I believe, 60 patients. Can you
Oh,
imagine in two
wow.
days seeing 60 patients? And she just did the surgeries that morning. I mean, that day before we had dinner, she was exhausted. And, so I did a healing, a physical healing while we were waiting for the dinner on her that she
Right.
could feel immediately. And then we scheduled an ancestral lineage pattern because I told her, you are carrying a lack of trust in life. I could feel it, I could see it. And then she said, oh my gosh, yes. So I help her physically, doing the before the dinner. And she was feeling so much better. She was able to eat and have a big smile on her face again and breathe and all that. And then this tomorrow, no, Sunday, we're going to do a session because we both are very busy, so we can only do it during the weekend. And like I said, I'm
Yeah.
a workaholic, so I'm going to do a session for her Sunday and help her be able to work on that, you know?
Right.
Something that doesn't belong to her. I can tell it's something coming from her
Yeah.
dad, actually.
Okay. Very interesting. So this begs the question because I have to ask a question because
Yeah.
I'm literally feeling the people who are listening to this, even though they're not here with us right now, right?
Yeah.
Um, what I want to know, and I know what they want to know, is so how does this show up for you? So you're talking to somebody, you're out to dinner with your friend. Is this a literal vision that you see? Is this words that you hear? Is it just I know for me
But
when I get a universal download, for me it's just there is a thought that I'm like, this did not come from my head. But I don't know how else to describe it, right? So how does
right.
that show up for you? Is that something that you literally see in your head,
Yeah.
or how, like, can you share with us what that experience is like?
Sure, sure. So I'm going to answer you. It comes in all different forms, and it
Okay.
really depends of what it is. So I mentioned to you that I was born clairvoyant because that's medium. I would say
Hmm.
medium because it's complete. And so I'm a full medium awake, meaning I can hear. Sometimes I receive music, and I did a recording of one song that I received while I was in my shower. I receive
Wow.
the words and the music, both. Okay. So sometimes it's that. One time I heard the voice of my husband at the airport, and he couldn't be him because he was already in the parking lot. But I heard his voice telling me "petit amour," so it was a loving word, you know. Um, but most of the time, it's been cognitive, like you. You said you're cognitive, you know
Hmm.
things, and you don't know how, but you know. So
Yep.
I am fully cognitive. So I have knowledge of something that I have no way to know other
Right.
than from downloaded from the divine. Sometimes it's visual, and I paint. I have soul painting on my website. You can see them. They are visions. I see angels as light, and they give me messages. So that's what I paint or um, and my website is very visual because I need the colors, I need the harmony, I need, visual is very important to me. And then I am clairsentient. And that's the main, I would say that's the stronger one with claircognition. I know and I feel. So while we were talking, every time you say something that was true, I had goosebumps. I
Hmm.
was shivering. So my whole body knows. So usually it comes first from the cognitive aspect, a thought,
Hmm.
or when somebody speak, if I speak or somebody speak, and then it become a physical sensation in my body. And that's when I know we're on something true.
Right.
Okay. So if I say something and I don't feel it that way, then it may not be true. Then I have to go deeper to ask more question or search. And that's how
Yeah.
I work with my clients. I use a pendulum, because
Okay.
that goes really fast. And I can use two pendulum in each hands, one of it in each hands to, I ask question and then I get the answer. But I combine it with my knowingness and physical response.
Oh, that is so cool. I would also say then, because I have the thoughts that show up, right? But I've also had energetic
Yes,
feelings
I
when
know you
certain
do.
when certain
You are
things
clair
happen, right?
You are clairsentient. You are.
Oh,
I know that. Yeah,
very cool. Oh,
yeah.
just got another
And
one.
and I'm going to give you. You mentioned. I know you're going to mention a gift for people we can offer. And what I would like to say about that gift,
Mhm.
it's a very. It looks very simple, simplicist, and people are going to say, it's a 5 minutes, a guided meditation. So what? Well, no, it's not just a 5 minutes instant. It is something that I received from the divine that is extremely powerful. And you can use it constantly,
Mhm.
every day, because it will realign you with your truth, with who you are. It will wake up your soul purpose. It will keep you protected from negativity. It's so powerful, you have no idea. So don't think, oh, it's just a little gift, it's so sweet, but thank you very much. I do my own meditation or whatever. Don't think that. It's
Right.
extremely powerful. It's a
Yeah.
real gift and it's a foundation. I don't do any session on people without them going through that first
Hmm.
because it prepares them, it clears their chakra, it does all of that in just 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's
You,
very helpful. Yeah, it's something I've experienced myself on multiple occasions now because it's something that I downloaded to my phone and then I'm
yeah,
able to then listen
use it. Yes,
listen to
exactly.
it. So
Yeah.
I've used it at times, before going to bed to kind of, get all cleared before I go to sleep so I can be fully rested. I've used it before coaching sessions. I've used it just before
Good,
a
good.
heavy conversation with a friend or family member, just whatever it is that I'm needing to kind of help clear out that 5 minute has been so powerful and helpful. So
Oh,
I would
thank you.
definitely recommend. So, for those of you who are listening right now, as Fabienne mentioned, she does offer this 5 minute guided meditation that is very simple. It's from her website. We're going to put the link in the show notes, and depending on when people are listening to this, it will also be available in our gift vault. So anybody who has shown up in the gift vault is one of our guests who has brought a gift for all of our listeners. So you guys can go find all the cool gifts in one place because we like to make it easy for people. So that is available as well. So highly recommend going and taking advantage of that 5 minute guided
Instant peace.
meditation. Yeah,
Yeah,
instant peace. Yes,
instant
exactly.
peace. But
Instant peace.
it's not just peace, it's also protection and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And for those of you who are like, "Oh, is it Fabienne doing the guided meditation?" Yes, it is her beautiful French accent. Beautiful, beautiful French accent leading you through this instant peace, this guided meditation. It's absolutely wonderful. So, oh my gosh, Fabienne, I know we're going to have you back to talk more about how what you do helps businesses because I'm sure we can dig even deeper, but we are pretty much at our time limit for right now for this episode. So, Fabienne, thank you so much for being here and sharing who you are and what you're doing to help entrepreneurs. I so appreciate you.
Thank you, Jenny. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. And do you have a last message that you would like to leave with the What You Need to Grow
Well,
audience?
if you want, because let's start with the business. I would say, I want open your heart and listen to my voice. Your business is the reflection of your heart. The more you love yourself, the more you take care of yourself, the more you'll be present to serve others because your business is about serving. A healthy business is about loving other people. So simplicity is the most powerful spiritual way to manifest greatness. And in greatness, there is wealth. You deserve wealth. You deserve happiness. And they are your divine rights. So by clearing everything that is limiting you, you become a great manifester and your business is going to thrive.
Hmm.
That's my message.
Thank you so much. And as you mentioned, I need to work on receiving. So I sat there and received. Message received, Fabienne. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was amazing, guys. If nothing else, take that clip and listen to that over and over and over again. So that was fantastic. Thank you again, Fabienne, for being here. You are amazing.
Good, dear. I
Awesome.
love you.
Thank you. I love you too. And of course, what you need to grow, audience, make sure that you have followed the show so that you don't miss any amazing episodes like this, because I am bringing nothing but the best to you guys to help you grow in your personal and your business life. So stay tuned because you never know what it is that you'll need to grow.
Thank you for listening to What You Need to Grow. Be sure to follow the show on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss a single episode. Want updates straight to your inbox? Sign up at whatyouneedtogrow.com and you'll get notified each time a new episode goes live. Here's to your growth. This has been What You Need to Grow with Jennie Bellinger.